Get low when the whistle go.
What is going on, guys? Today I want to give you all some starter tips and tricks for Pokemon Go. If you've downloaded the game and if you've played it for a little bit, you probably know some of these things, some you might not, but these are kind of a good way to jumpstart into the game and know what's going on. There's a lot to learn, there's a lot to figure out, and that's what this video is here to show you. First off, tricks on actually wanting to catch the Pokemon. When a Pokemon shows up and you click on it on the screen and it appears in your real world area, you'll see a circle with another colored circle slowly shrinking in a repetitive pattern. What you want to do is, when the circle is as small as possible, that is when you want to throw the Pokeball. The smaller the ring, the more likely you are going to be to capture the Pokemon you are trying to get. Also, you want to make sure you're aiming really well. The game is sensitive on to where you aim your Pokeball. If you throw it too high, throw it too low, left, right, you're not going to catch it, and you don't want to be wasting Pokeballs. They're not the easiest things to come past unless you're near a lot of Pokestops, so you definitely want to preserve the Pokeballs as much as you can. So remember, aim right at the Pokemon, throw it when the circle is as small as possible. There's another thing you do called a curveball, where you can spin the ball before you throw it until you see little stars start to show up, and then throw the Pokeball. It's harder to aim, but there's a rumor going around that that also helps with the capture rates. I don't know for sure. I'm doing it. If you learn how to throw it well, it's worth doing. So if it's worth it, go for it. Next up is the color of the rings that you see shrinking around the Pokemon. There's 3 different colors: green, yellow, and red. Green is easy, yellow is moderate, and red is difficult. The more difficult the Pokemon is to catch, the less likely is going to get caught by just throwing a regular Pokeball at it. As you level up in the game, that's when you're going to start seeing more of these different colors. You're going to see green at first and a little bit of yellow, but not too much, and then you'll start seeing more yellow, more red, the higher the CP level goes up. Luckily, as you do level up, you're gonna get stronger Pokeballs as well as items to help you capture the Pokemon, so it's gonna work in time with itself, so don't worry about it too much. On the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you'll see a little icon with different Pokemon on it, as well as a couple different footsteps. And what this means is you'll see between 0 and 3 footsteps. 0 means the Pokemon is gonna be right on top of you and it should already be on the screen. 1 means you might need to go walk a little bit to try to find it. 2 is a little farther away. 3, it might be a block or 2 away, or even farther, but that's what those footprints mean. Remember, the less footprints, the closer the Pokemon is to you. Right now, especially start off in the game, it's not bad to start getting a lot of duplicates. If you get them, whichever ones are the weakest with either attacks or CP levels, you can transfer them to the professor, and when you do that, you'll get a candy for that Pokemon, and you can use that candy to either evolve or power up said Pokemon. Incense is a great way to try to lure Pokemon towards you. You can pop this and it lasts for 30 minutes and it'll stay around you while you walk, or you can stay still, and doing this will attract more Pokemon to you. I don't know the exact amount, but Pokemon will come like crazy. They love the smell of this incense. It smells good, it probably tastes good. They're gonna come to you. So if you want Pokemon, if you're sitting around for a little bit and you're bored, pop an incense if you have one, and you'll probably get some Pokemon coming your way pretty soon. Here's another trick to make it easier to capture wild Pokemon, and that is to turn the AR camera off. Doing this, if you're trying to get it and the Pokemon is all around you and it's jumping and moving all over the screen, that is because your AR camera is on. Turning this off, it'll make things a lot easier. It won't look as pretty. All you'll see is just a CG background instead of the real world background. It'll also preserve battery. That's just a little side help. But it will make capturing Pokemon, I've heard, a lot easier. I haven't personally tried this, but everyone that I've heard that has tried it says it definitely makes it easier. So it'll be easier to capture Pokemon. This might be a good way to get started in the game when you're still learning how to throw the Pokeballs and stuff. Maybe try turning the AR camera off. The button is in the top left. Slide it off and maybe it'll help you. Now let's get to battling in gyms and stuff like that. Gyms are something that I don't fully understand how to attack yet. I don't know the techniques on using your strongest attacks. There's a bar that builds when you're fighting, but I haven't fully understood it yet, so I don't want to give advice before I fully know it. But you can't fight until you're level 5. You can't go to any gym till you're level 5. I'll probably make a separate video when I fully understand how the gyms work, because I don't want to give any advice right now because I'm still learning. I've just recently hit level 5, so I'm still trying to learn exactly how the gyms behave and how they operate. So if you have any tips on these, write them in the comments down below, and if you want, I'll probably make another video again just dedicated to gym battles, because I feel like there's a lot to it and I do think it deserves its own video. Alright, now let's get to Pokestops. Pokestops are actual landmarks in different areas in your town. The icon is a little blue diamond you'll see on the screen. When you get close to it, that diamond will transfer into a Pokeball shape. Click on it and swipe and tap on whatever shows up on the screen. You can get anything from Pokeballs to revives to potions to eggs. Tons of stuff you can get from this. And I think they cycle about every 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're walking and you see a bunch of these, you can kind of do a loop and just keep going back and getting these Pokestops over and over and over again. When you can't use them, they go from blue to purple. after they've been activated, but again, 5-10 minutes later, they'll turn back to blue, which means you can use them again. This is something that I've heard about, but I don't know how true it is, but people are saying that different Pokestops, some have rarer items than others. Like if it's a more iconic landmark like the Statue of Liberty or something like that, apparently it can give greater rewards than just other random Pokestops. Again, I don't know if this is true. I don't have any of these huge notable landmarks near me, but if you know and if you've seen this work, let me know, because it would make sense and it's a cool idea. So if it works, let me know. Also, another benefit to transferring your extra Pokemon to the professor is that you'll get XP, which will help you level up faster. Again, you get candies, which will help you power up or evolve your Pokemon, and extra XP. So it's definitely worth whichever Pokemon are your weakest, send them off to the professor. Now let's talk about eggs. Eggs you can randomly get, I think mainly from Pokestops. That's where I remember getting most of mine. And the way they work is you take the eggs and you put them in an incubator. You'll get one starting out in the game that has unlimited uses, and then sometimes at Pokestops or even leveling up, you'll get some that have like usually 3 uses. But what you can do is you put these eggs inside the incubators, and they'll have a different kilometer distance you have to travel before the eggs hatch. Sometimes you'll have 2, sometimes you'll have 5. I have one that has 10 kilometers, which is a long ways to walk. But when you hit that mark, the eggs will hatch, and you'll get a surprise Pokemon. There's no like set thing you're gonna get, it feels like. I've gotten a Jigglypuff and a Magikarp. A lot of things I've seen people get. I don't know how rare the eggs can be, but I don't know. It's extra Pokemon, and it's another incentive to get out and walk around. I'm just gonna briefly talk about CP, which I believe it stands for combat power. I don't know a lot about how it's gonna affect the game right now, but it basically means the higher the CP level, the stronger your Pokemon is. Again, this is another thing I'll probably make a separate video on, because it is important. It is important to pay attention to this. But again, it's basically your combat power to help you fight in gyms, and maybe hopefully fight other trainers in real life scenarios outside of gyms later. But again, I'll cover this in a separate video, but CP is your combat power and it's how strong your Pokemon is. Another benefit once you hit level 5 and you can fight in gyms is you get to pick your team. There's 3 teams, red, blue, and yellow. I'm blue team, Team Mystic. If you want to join Team Blue, you can. You can join us. It's Articuno. We're awesome. I dig us. But there's also red for Moltres and yellow for Zapdos. So if you hit level 5, which team have you joined? Let me know in the comments down below. Team Mystic is the best. I'm just saying. But there you go, guys. That's some basic tips and tricks and just kind of advice on how to get started in the game. If there's certain things you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments down below and I'll try to do that. Again, CP or combat power as well as gyms will be 2 different videos I will make down the road once I learn more about it and how it works, especially the gyms. Again, I'm still trying to learn, but if there's anything else you want me to talk about, let me know what it is in the comments down below. And if you have any tips or tricks, write them in the comments as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. Let me know if you're playing Pokemon Go. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Later!